But there's plenty at stake this afternoon as Joe Danaher makes his return. And we get underway with late Thursday afternoon footy. And Andrew Phillips back in the team, one of 3 Essendon ruckmen. There's been a bit of a rotation policy there, but he's back with the other 2 out today. And Segler returning for Hawthorn. So the Bombers have an opportunity to win possession early, although, as you can see, Warple's put himself with the line of fire.
On there, 5 or 6 first possessions without actually being able to clear the ball.
And there's McAvoy. So he better today than that man, Chad Wingard. Cousins was excellent last week on his return, his first game for the Hawks for the season. So he'll look to finish off this year strongly. Wingard with the second touch, and the set-up kick was perfect. And Gunston was able to just hold off Gleeson and takes the mark.
They've done it again. Hawthorn have set up their game. He's going to kick around the corner.
And kick a goal. No.
Jeez, was ugly.
Wow. Was involved there. That was one of the great thrills of last week to see him make his debut up north as the Dreamtime went to Darwin. Oh, it's 50. Part of the future of Hawthorn. He'd love to add a bit more scoreboard impact to his game, but would help to be able to convert.
Exactly. Side railing going about 50% with set shots.
Howe, he returned last week after a long-term injury and did his job off half-back. He sets it up for... Maybe he can go back and make better contact. It's going to need a big kick. It's going to need a 55-metre effort. And I tell you what, he's done it comfortably.
They don't get involved in enough score involvements or put scores on themselves. Well, he's answered that question very early on, really.
It's amazing when you get a player right on their threshold, how they're able to just go back, and it reduces the level of expectation. You could see Warple was trying to lay the ball off. In the end, had no other option but to go back and have a shot, and he just kicked.
Well, Jake Stringer returned last week from a long-term injury and had just 3 disposals and a goal, so hopefully he'll be a bit stronger this afternoon. They've got an opportunity here as Langford, who has been one of the positives for most of this set. Clear, Jath up high, denied Clark. Now it hits the ground. Ham. There's Joe. Free kick to Joe Danaher. There we go.
As a gift.
He'll take that. It's a massive kick too. That's what he can bring. The penetration. Guelphy over the top. Zerk Thatcher. And it all opens up for Merritt inside 50. Stringer.
Good confidence booster for Joe.
Yeah.
Makes the darting lead. Ignored. Instead he goes to Parrish.
Turn a metre into enough room to be able to hit the kick.
6 goals, 3 in 12 games this year, Darcy Parrish. Pushes across as well, so it hasn't exactly been a...
On your terms, not allow him to just camp long underneath the footy.
Good handball from the Hawks to get it forward, and the kick was wobbling. Gunston very clever on the youngster's Thatcher. It meant that he had to kick off the left, but it didn't matter.
In the stomach area, boys. Patton.
And,
he's on his line. Yours.
Kick popped up into the pocket. Bombers were well stocked, but Scully sneaks in and dribbles through his 2nd goal of the season.
They've looked very ordinary, Essendon, to be honest. Yeah, Hawthorn have controlled the play. They've just been able to move the ball from end to end far too easily. And when they get to this situation, they actually look quite dangerous. Well, Hawthorn, good finish by Scully. They couldn't kick the set shots, really. Had to dribble it through. Scully was actually good last week, came back into the team. He's had an ordinary season. I thought last week he showed some signs he's getting back to his best.
Brandy, you've been talking about Hawthorn's ball movement from the...
In a moment on Patton as they chain up the handballs this time. Shield off the left, McDonald, Woody takes the mark. They double back into the square, and then he changed of mind. Ignores Stringer's still on his own. He ignored it and went for broke. And you know what? He's hit the target and finally given Essendon a go.
It was free. If you just watch him there. But then I think he made the right decision. In the end, they were tied up, and Hawthorn defenders were retreating back to potentially take the intercept mark. Good decision by McDonald and Woody. Good finish.
Yeah, he was going to have to thread the needle, wasn't he, to hit Stringer. And Hawthorn almost blindside the guy receiving the footy.
O'Brien lobs it up into the pocket. Gunston was squeezed out. Phillips on the tap. This is still needs someone with some surety around the football.
For the team.
17 disposals, gained 350 metres plus for his team. And he threads the needle where others have failed. Oh. Dear. They can't be good.
Just got out, Giles.
And here's the free kick.
You don't like to speculate, but quite often you see those are Achilles turnovers, but haven't punished the turnover enough the last few weeks.
Shield pinpoints. Oh, almost hit Joe Danaher on the lead. Donald Tippermoody like a wrecking ball charging through. Here's Mosquito. Happened though in terms of the seriousness of the one that sends him off the ground. It just seems to come out of nowhere.
It does. Quite often that sort of reaction, you look around. He would have grabbed his hand. If he had done his hamstring, you think it's a natural reaction to grab the hamstring. You just wonder the way he's holding his foot there. Whether it's a problem with the lower leg. I'm just worried about Achilles. Yeah.
Tom, play on.
Little hand off to the long left foot of Saad. Can Danaher get a launch at it? And there's your answer.
For the Hawthorn fans.
Back in his hometown. Bangs it up beyond the wing. And O'Brien looked likely for a moment. Excellent take by Hanrahan to Bruce. And Cousins for another for the Hawks. No. So this from quarter time. Just an explanation perhaps.
Clear the space.
Pointing to the Achilles.
Yeah. Known a few forwards over the years who probably wouldn't have done that. Bruce gets it out. Warple from the corner decides for trying to hit the lead of back through Guelphy, and again the Hawks prevail and Hanrahan finds Warple. So as we mentioned earlier, just one goal coming into the game for James Warple, and he runs back past, but he ignores that, instead uses his foot to get it long. Stringer comes in from the side. Phillips wasn't far off there. Hartley was under pressure, and now Stringer. He's done remarkably well to get a goal out of that. His first kick of the day.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's probably in the
It's
action.
the action, though, isn't it? It's all in the action.
So Clonan was touched off the boot. As we mentioned earlier, Stringer just the 3 disposals last week and a goal.
He's okay. Yeah, he's just hit his boot.
Day, and now Scrimshaw finds his left, takes them wide.
Composure again from Hanrahan.
Yeah, Wingard. He goes long. I don't think O'Brien was quite expecting it or expecting that. So Luke Bruce, normally such an expert at conversion.
Jeez.
This is that one to the left. Warple timed his run perfectly. Tried to deliver. Redmond with the hand to it. Good work from Hanrahan again. Bruce to Gunston. If Bruce doesn't get you, Gunston will.
Have a look at James Warple. Great connection here with Ben McAvoy taking the ruck. So just comes through there nicely. He didn't hit the kick, but he's been involved in the forward half, Warple, today. I love that. 5 score involvements already today. Just the 10 disposals. Last week, I think he had 25, 26 disposals with only 1 score involvement.
See Dylan Shield there, just trying to push. That's just lucky dip football. So he might win one, you might win one, but do you like a bit more body work, bit more staying in the contest there?
Set up, guys.
Ryan had support behind him. Back with the flight, Stewart. Zerk Thatcher was there. There's Bruce again up against Smith. He's got the foot. He sends it to Minchington, who can bounce his way into the 50. He can steady. He can go back and fire through another bullet for the Hawks.
Up against Luke Bruce, so 2 really clever players, and Bruce just won the one-on-one. Smith actually had probably better position to start off with.
He's been outstanding, Bruce, today.
He has. This man's a really good finisher. Never quite been able to string it together consistently or due to injury, but put him in front of goals, Minchington, and he's as clever as they come.
That's his first goal as a Hawk. Of course, as you said, the ex-Saint went across to Hawthorn. It didn't appear as it was going to work out for him. He was basically told that he'd be gone, but then he was able to get back.
Take a period of time to be able to nail it.
Second, with emphasis, smashes that forward.
Pushing the back.
Wow.
Absolutely missing in the backs in whatever situations they were.
Very frustrated, Mason Redmond. Hanrahan, like the look of some of his work in the last couple of weeks.
At the moment, to me, Essendon, that's what it looks like.
Havoc around the footy. Cousins in and out, and eventually Scully service. Warple. 3 goals, 1 for the season coming in today in his 5 games. Just a tough one before. He's dragged that one hardly.
9th intercept mark, 4th to Big Ben McAvoy. They just keep kicking it to him.
Oh, Segler takes a towering grab.
Hold there, Andrew, on the angle. Play on.
And then Howe gets to the 50 within range. That's tracking perfectly. It was line ball, but it's a goal. Argent. Good take.
Yeah.
Big sacks.
Sandwiched in between Phillips and Hooker, who didn't even bother to fly there. So that'll be disappointing in the Essendon coach's box. But gee, it's been a complete dominance in the air today. So 9 intercept marks to 0, 9 contested marks to 0.
It's big discrepancy.
For a lot of the seasons, while he wasn't playing, had the best average of goals per game of anyone in the competition. Merritt from the corner tried to get creative. Fired the handball, but he missed the mark, and the Hawks are able to go forward again. Another high ball, and O'Brien had a good look at it. The interference came. 7 goals, 2 coming in today. That looks like a mighty fine strike to me. It's another one for the Hawks as the misery grows for Essendon.
So just watch there. So Cale Hooker is matched up on O'Brien. Unless my eyes are deceiving me. So Hooker decides to stay involved in the play.
Well, when Smith won that footy, he took off.
Yeah.
Excellent match so far. Possession 15. That's not his best kick. Shields had the time though, and space to fire it into the pocket. Gunston on the lead. He's wrapped his hands around it. Goal 17. Since then, it hasn't been quite so good for Jack Gunston. In the 50s and in the last 2 years in the 40s. So he takes that one across the face, off the hands of McAvoy. Parrish from a stand start. Off the instep a little. Stringer sees off Howe. And the handball to Langford. Snelling, one more underground. Hooker slapped it away. Joe's waiting for it, hoping for it, demanding it. Here we go, Joe. Here we go. No, just couldn't take it. And comes to a grinding halt.
It's going to take him a while.
As we mentioned, not too many opportunities in this term for Joe Danaher. It's been a bit of a disaster for the Bombers this quarter. Snelling caught in the trap provided by Warple, and that'll just about get us to half-time.
I just want to see the Essendon